I'm interested in how whales communicate. So we look at the evolutionary history of the whales, so the past, so when they returned to the oceans, right? What were the changes, the morphological changes that they experienced that impacted the way that they communicate? But we also want to look at the present. So we know that humans are changing the space in which they communicate. There's a lot of noise in the ocean, so we want to see if the past helps them to cope with the present, and if not, what are the solutions that we can come up with to help these animals to communicate, because whales depend 100% of sound. The way that we study these animals, so we have two different approaches. When we're looking at the past, we rely on phylogenies, which are trees of life that tells us how these animals are connected with each other. So then we look at how specific traits and their communications have evolved. And the other part is the real-time, challenges that are facing. So for that, I go collaborate with researchers in Central America, and we use these autonomous underwater recorders that we deploy in the bottom of the ocean. And we leave these recorders for 3 to 6 months, depending on how we set them to record that soundscape. And then we come back with thousands and thousands of recordings, and we try to develop algorithms to help us to find the sounds of these animals. We measure noise levels from these recordings. We try to identify specific species and see how their presence varies over time. As a lecturer, I incorporate my research into my teaching, and my main goal is the students understand how science works. I want students in my courses to experience what is the frustrations, the good moments and the bad moments of doing research when things don't work the way you thought, and you have to kind of scratch back and come back with a new way of collecting data. Biology is the field that studies life. So we are part of it, and I want my students to understand the diversity of life, right? That applies to everybody, including humans. So I want them to extrapolate all that we learn, right? I want them to understand how evolution works, and how evolution is not something that is, far away, but it's actually that we are living it every day. In our communities, as societies, and in nature. So I want them to be able to make connections, that in my classes, you have the opportunity to learn concepts and processes, but those will be forgotten if you don't put them into practice.